Hey everybody, John here at Hickory Forge. Welcome back. This is going to be a short video. I'm just taking you on a quick tour of the workshop and smithy area so you can kind of get a feel for what's going on in my videos and stuff. So let me get you turned around. So starting out, we got our forge. This here is a 3-burner atmospheric gas forge I built from an old air compressor tank. Castable's cracked, I know. I'm going to fix that, so don't hound me about using uncoated ceramic wool in the comments. And the stand it's on is actually a coal forge I built in high school. You can't really see because everything's on top of it. But yeah, I got punches, chisels, crap like that over here, my wire brush. Got my hammer rack down there. Some of those hammers I've bought, some I've made. My water bucket. Over here we got the tong rack and the top tool rack. Again, some of these I've bought, some I've made. It's pretty cool. What I did was I actually forge welded 4 pieces of 1/2 inch square together to make the base. Forged it down to 3/4 inch and then twisted a piece of 3/4 inch to make the stem, and the rack itself is an old wheelbarrow wheel. There's my quench tank for my oil. Miscellaneous tools I almost never use. There's my anvil, 260-pound German double horn anvil, which is actually pretty great. Just got it recently, and I'm super excited. There's my post vise. Don't know the brand. There's a little tomahawk I made for holding open my door. Oh, and here's the striking anvil. These are really good to have when you're making tooling, or if you're working with a striker making hammers, something like that. That's what I use it for. It's made of mild steel, so if you miss-hit and dent it, then you just dent it. You're not going to hurt it like you might hurt your good anvil. So let's go on inside the workshop. Here I got spare oil in case I need it. My quench oil is just vegetable oil. This is a bucket of super quench I use for my railroad spike knives. Over here is where I keep all my steel. You know, we got various assorted lengths of square, round, and flat bar. Oxygen tank for the torch set itself. Trash can. There's a bunch of other rag pile, a bunch of other crap over here. Here's my Model 98 Champion post drill, which I use more often than you'd think. So here's my main work table. Got my Lincoln Pro Mig 140. If you're like me and you live in town and you can only run 110 volt, that's pretty much the best welder money can buy. This was actually my first anvil from when I was a teenager. It's a piece of railroad track, and it actually broke in half a few years back when me and my buddy Eric were working with it. So I took it to a machine shop and had it welded back together just for sentimental value. I use it for leather work every now and then. That's about it. There's the tripod I shoot a lot of my videos with. Sandpaper pile. Torch I used to light my forge. Piece of scrap wood I was mixing up epoxy on earlier. Here's my belt grinder. A machinist friend of mine built it for me, and it works good. It's not obviously not as high quality as like a KMG or a Beta or something like that, but it's perfect for what I need it for. I like to keep my safety glasses and my respirator right there, so whenever I go to grind, they're right there where I need them. This is my chop saw. It's an Evolution Rage 2 cold cut metal saw, which is actually pretty sweet. One of these days I'll do a video review on it, but that thing's made my life super easy. Back there is the forgotten crap area of the workshop. I got a tank ammo tube full of about 5 gallons of oil I use for quenching swords. Fan for in the summer, an old bandsaw that ain't no good, and an old grinder that ain't no good. Over here I got my little Harbor Freight drill press. You know, I would like to have something bigger, but it gets the job done. Buffer, and so on and so forth. Underneath there is where I keep stuff I almost never use. I got an old stick welder and a toolbox full of crap. Here's part of my anvil hoard. This isn't all of it. There's more upstairs in my house. But I got a 200-pound Fisher, 200-pound hay button, 102-pound Peter Wright, a 60-pound mouse hole, and then I got my little swage block right there that I use sometimes. Over here we got digging tools and actually a foundry furnace I built not too long ago. Table saw that I actually got for free because I let a friend of mine stay with me for a while when his marriage was on the rocks, and he gave this to me as payment. Belt rack, I got belts all the way from 60 up to 800 grit, and I got a Scotch-Brite belt as well. Shelf full of stuff I need every now and then, you know, pliers, nippers, wood glue, epoxy, hammer wedges, Sharpies, pencils, needle files, such and such. That's where I keep my angle grinders, paint can full of borax, ferric chloride, and miscellaneous other spray type stuff I need. This here is my well, there's a measuring tape and a drop cord on it now, but this is a Harbor Freight 4x6 bandsaw, and this thing's actually pretty kick-ass. Harbor Freight tools get a pretty bad rap, but you know, for 200 bucks you can't really go wrong, and I use this thing all the time. This is not the cutting table that came with it. I had to fabricate this myself, because when I got this one, well, let me start off by saying I had to buy 3 of these before I got one that was worth a damn, because the first one, the switch didn't work. Second one would not cut straight no matter what I did. This one cuts relatively straight. It's not perfect, but it's much better than it was. But this one actually didn't come with the cutting table for some reason. And I figured in the time it's going to take me to get a hold of customer service and try to get the missing part, I could just fabricate a new one. So all I did was I got some 3/16 inch plate and drilled and tapped some holes. It bolts directly to the frame of the saw. And one of these days I'll do a review on this thing too, because like I said, it's actually pretty sweet. And for $200 you can't really go wrong. Here's other stuff. Old hammer handles that I use. Twisting wrench, linseed oil, CLP, stuff like that. And there's my 4 horsepower scale angle grinder. That's, if I'm breaking that thing out, things are getting really serious. So you probably will rarely, if ever, see that. Up here on this wall, I got hammers, wooden mallet my buddy Eric made me, stuff I use every now and then. And that's pretty much it. That's my workshop.